Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, flood waters build on Loudon Road in Concord. Yikes. Flood waters were seen building on Loudon Road in Concord Wednesday evening as storms moved through the region. A flash flood warning was in effect for several communities and counties at the time. And here is video of those floodwaters on Loudon Road in Concord, New Hampshire. Take a look. Okay, and there you go on that video. Very scary stuff. Not good to drive through flooded waters. Police officer injured in 2016 shooting via lawsuit. New Hampshire Department of Safety gunshot. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Charisse LeClaire.
A lawsuit now stemming from this night in May 2016, when Manchester officers Ryan Hardy and Matthew O'Connor were shot. Hardy in the face and torso, O'Connor in the leg. Ian McPherson has since admitted to the shooting and has been sentenced to a secure psychiatric unit. Now the two officers allege in this suit filed in Rockingham Superior Court that the gun and bullets used by McPherson should never have been in his possession, saying a Merrimack detective made it known that the Merrimack Police Department had an overwhelming number of contacts with Ian McPherson, who they say suffered from a mental illness. The lawsuit alleging the New Hampshire Department of Safety and its commissioner, John Barthelmess, and the owner of the gun store that sold the weapon, Chester Arms in Derry, did not do their jobs in fully vetting McPherson. The suit says on March 19, 2016, McPherson walked into Chester Arms wearing a trench coat and latex gloves. The owner's daughter, who was working at the time, was concerned about Mr. Ian McPherson's appearance and demeanor. Derry police were called to the store on a report of a suspicious person. The sale was delayed because additional review was needed. On April 1st, the suit alleges McPherson walked into the same store and walked out less than 5 minutes later with the gun and ammunition. A month and a half later, the two officers were shot. The suit alleges that at no time did the Department of Safety disclose concerns and disqualifying criteria noted in the available databases. And the owner of Chester Arms, John Cavaretta, negligently transferred and entrusted the firearm to Mr. McPherson in short order. Now, the Department of Safety said it had no comment. They said they have not seen the complaint. Meantime, we also left a message with the owner of the gun store, but we have not heard back. Live in Manchester, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. This one is hard for me. Jerry Remy says of latest cancer diagnosis. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
For those restless spirits, and for those who thirst for more, Coors Light is colder, cleaner, and crisper. To refresh you for what's next, Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Hi everyone, throughout our newscast for the past few hours, we have been airing different portions of our sit-down interview with Jerry Remy. Remy found out he had cancer that had returned about 2.5 weeks ago during a routine scan. Remy traveled to Toronto on Monday, but returned home yesterday. Now, this is the 6th time Remy has heard the doctor utter that dreaded C word. This time it really shocked Remy, and yes, he told me he is afraid and concerned as he now prepares to take on this disease again. Do you think you got the stamina again to fight this thing again?
Yeah, you know, like I've never quit, and you know, I haven't quit yet, and I don't plan on quitting now. And, once you quit, once you give up, you know, you might as well forget about it. So, look, my whole life has been not giving up, and that was a player, as a broadcaster, you know, in personal life, and it's not in my nature to give up. So I take it on as another challenge, and hopefully the challenge is successful.
You gonna beat this thing?
Yeah, I plan on it. I don't have any other reason to think that I can't. Cancer has a mind of its own. That's what I found out. It's, you know, it's very unpredictable. And but do I plan on kicking it? Yeah, of course I do. You know, and then we'll see what life brings after that.
Remy told me he's overwhelmed by the support from all the fans he's heard from during previous cancer diagnosis, and of course the one that just was revealed yesterday. He says thank you to all the fans.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And all of us at the Riley King Network, our thoughts and prayers go to Jerry Remy, and we wish him the best of luck and hope he gets well very, very soon. Friends and family remember Belfast teen who dedicated her life to activism. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8.
They're out there, working hard to make our roads safe. They care about you and your...
It was here along this stretch of Route 1 that 15-year-old Layla was leaving her driveway on her bicycle. She was hit by a car and later died from her injuries. Those who knew her describe her as smart, charismatic, and a positive spirit that they won't soon forget. These flowers mark the spot on Route 1 in Belfast, where 15-year-old Layla Al-Matrouk left her driveway on Sunday on her bicycle, headed towards Searsport. She was then hit by a car, the driver not yet charged, and Layla later died from her injuries.
It was a bright light.
Timothy Wilson first met Layla at the Seeds of Hope camp when she was 14, after her family left Kuwait and moved to Belfast. The camp unites kids from war-torn countries or from around the U.S. to deal with conflict.
She really worked at it. She felt that she was here to be the best human being she could be.
He last saw her on Saturday, the day before she died, at a reunion of campers from Maine.
She laughed, you know, that laugh of hers, and smile.
Wilson says Layla took her skills from camp to her community, where she helped organize a walkout at her school after the Parkland shooting.
She just always had such a positive and welcoming energy for her.
Maxwell Howard was a senior and Layla was a freshman when the two bonded over their love of theater in the community.
She's a wonderful writer and actress, and she was such a powerful person in the community, even at such a young age.
Whether it be her days as a camper, as an activist, or an actress, those who knew Layla say she planted a seed of positivity.
It's a big hole to fill, but her legacy's gonna be fine.
This Saturday at 7, friends and family of Layla are expected to honor her memory at a vigil that's taking place at Steamboat Landing Park here in Belfast. I'm Mary Kate Mannion, WMTW News 8.
Tragic.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Trump pressure on trade may force China to act faster on reforms, analysts say. U.S. trade pressures on China could push Beijing to speed up efforts to restructure its economy, some local analysts say. Iowa man says maybe I was the last person to see missing college student. An Iowa man said police officers searched his home in connection to the case of Molly Tibbetts, the University of Iowa student who vanished last month after going for an evening jog. Tibbetts was reported missing after she failed to show up for work in Brooklyn, Iowa, a farming community of about 1,500 people, where the 20-year-old was living over the summer with her longtime boyfriend. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.